as a dating coach for the last 12 years, it should come as no surprise that I've seen a lot of conflicting information out there. A perfect example is the hundreds and thousands of videos, YouTube videos, and bloggers and dating coaches talking about how important it is to be in great physical shape, because women go crazy for men in great physical shape, and if you're not in shape, it's going to be so much harder to attract women. But at the same time, on a literal monthly basis, I get clients, guys coming to me who say, Damien, I'm in phenomenal physical shape. I take good care of myself. I've got a decent job. And yet women still don't want to date me. What gives? And they're angry and they're frustrated because they've worked so dang hard on themselves to get in shape, because they were promised by someone somewhere that women would really love them if they just had a great body, that they're frustrated and angry because they put in all of that work. So today I wanted to make this video for both the guys who are thinking of getting in better shape to become more attractive to women, as well as the guys who got in really great shape and didn't get the results they hoped when it came to attracting women. I want to make this video for both of you to go into a little bit more detail. How much difference does it actually make in attraction if you're really well built? I consider myself a little bit of an expert on this topic, and not just because for over a decade I've been working with men from all different shapes and sizes and helping them to be better able to attract women, but also because I've lived this. So for most of my adult life, I've been in really great shape. In fact, from the age of 16, about 16, 17, I started going to the gym at least 3 days a week. And it got many more days a week later on, but I was going to gym regularly. So for most of my adult life, in my early 20s, I was in great shape. In my mid-20s, I went through a narcissistic phase. And even when I was in my early 30s, I was still in great shape. I worked really hard to keep my body. And that was all I knew. All I knew when it came to attracting women was Damien, what it was like to be me in really good physical shape. But then at 32, I got quite sick. I got a really complicated hormone disorder, and it meant that I stopped going to gym, stopped exercising. I lost all my muscle. I got really skinny. I was bedbound for a while. It was a really horrible part of my life. It was a horrible thing to go through. And I'm still kind of at the tail end of that. So I haven't been able to go back to gym yet or do any of that stuff. And so I lost my muscle and became skinny. So I know what it's like to be a muscly guy, and I know what it's like to lose it, become a skinny guy. So what difference did it make? So that shift, how much harder is it for me to attract women now than it was when I was in great shape? Now, I'd estimate about 15, maybe 20% harder to attract women now. That's it. So 20%, like a fifth harder, right? Which means it's noticeably a little bit harder, but not massively. We're not talking a radical change in my ability to attract women. So what gives? How come there are so many guys who have gone out and gotten in great shape and suddenly doing incredibly with women, right? In fact, I'm willing to bet some of you are maybe furiously typing to me right now, right? Telling me what a BS artist I am, because clearly they got incredible results themselves from working out. Well, it's because there is great benefit to working out and going to the gym and getting in great shape. There is huge benefit. And it is not just about the muscle you put on. And this is really what it's all about. You see, for a lot of guys who go to the gym and put on muscle, they get other side benefits from it. So the first one is, if you do this, you're actually going out and becoming determined and focused, and you create structure in your life and discipline. These are all things that are attractive features for a woman that you must create or have as a man, or build for yourself as a man that's attractive, that makes you attractive. The second thing, of course, is just believing. If you believe that having a lot of muscle makes you more attractive to women, you'll behave like a guy who expects to be more attractive to women. You'll feel like you deserve more attractive women in your life. You will feel more entitled, right? You'll feel like you deserve a hot woman. So when you go and talk to her, you'll feel like you deserve her. This will make you come across more confident, more self-assured, all things that women want in a guy. But it's not the muscle specifically that did it. It was just your psychological frame of reference that changed. And that frame of reference, that never changed for me, right? When I lost all my muscle, I was still very well aware of the value I brought as a man. I'm intelligent. I've got lots of interesting things to say. I've had an interesting life. I have an interesting job. I'm mature, and I've got all these forms of value. I don't need the muscle to be a valuable partner. I could never ever meet a woman and think, oh, she's too good for me. I could only ever think that she has a different set of values and needs and wants in her life. And I never feel like anyone was too good for me. Or that I'm too good for someone else, just that I'm different is how I see the world. And the third thing is that when you get in shape, other things change. So you generally fix your diet, you eat more healthily, you're now eating differently and exercising regularly. It regulates your hormones in a really healthy way. So your hormone level changes, your testosterone goes up, your stress hormones usually go down. Your food you eat also regulates your body in different ways, so you become healthy, your skin changes, and the different hormones changes the way that you smell, because a big part of how a guy smells is about being able to detect his hormone levels and where they're at. So that is another feature that changes. So all these things are playing a role that impact how women see you and interact with you, that aren't just about the muscle itself. So with all that being said, should you go out and get in good shape? Well, I'll say this. If you're overweight, and especially the more overweight you get, the more my answer is absolutely yes, you should. Because being overweight isn't just a visual thing. It suggests certain cues about a person, right? It suggests a lack of discipline or emotional chaos or unhappiness, because often people who are overweight get that way, not just physical things, it tends to be psychological as well, but these are inferences that humans make. All these things play a role, as well as being unhealthy and everything else. Yes, then it's definitely important, because I went to being skinny. If I had to become really overweight, I think I would have noticed a bigger change. But more than that, if you're just a skinny guy who wants to get muscly, I still highly advocate for it. But I advocate that you get in shape and go to gym, and you don't do it for women. You got to do it for you, for yourself. As part of your self-development as a man, you're learning discipline. You're learning to get focused on something. You're getting healthier. Your hormone levels are going to get better, and that's going to change your emotional space. So your quality of life, your perceived quality of life, and how happy you are, how much stress you have, how many sensations of well-being you experience are all going to go up, right? Your life will be better because you're eating better and you're physically in shape. So yes, 100 times, yes, you should do it. And yes, it'll have an impact on your success with women, but it isn't the only thing, and it can go wrong, as it has gone wrong with some of the guys. So why does it go wrong? What are the situations with guys that I say they're in great shape and they still struggle with women? I usually see it. Well, let me put it this way. You can get in really great shape and still have a struggling self-esteem. Being in good shape doesn't necessarily require you to have great self-esteem. But what I often see is it's not just guys get in great shape and their self-esteem is still low and they don't feel great about themselves. It's often how, not always, but often how they exhibit that low self-esteem. So very frequently with these guys, I see they go to an extreme douchebag / narcissistic vantage point. That's how they manage their low self-esteems, right? That doesn't mean confident, it just means they're overcompensating for their low self-esteem. So they start to put other people down, they start to act hyper confident, right? Like that kind of douchebaggy, cocky kind of thing they get going on. That's not true self-esteem. That's often a turn-off to women. Like some women will like it, but it's a balance. And if you get that balance wrong, all you're doing is turning off all the women. And so, yeah, that's another thing that I see. So there's still plenty of ways to go wrong by getting in shape, but it will help you more than it's going to hinder you by a large margin. And it's going to overall improve your quality of life. So I'm a big advocate, but just don't fall into the trap of thinking women are only going to value you for your muscles, right? That process of getting healthy and in shape is just a way to improve yourself, your body, your experience as a guy. It's going to teach you some vital life skills, and all these things, they make you more attractive to women. So you can then lose the muscle and you're not going to stop being attractive to women, or not very much anyway. So that's my insight on it, and I hope that gives you some more clarity. I know guys get very obsessed with being in good shape, and I think that's unhealthy too. You'll find that 70% in shape is often good enough. Just going to the gym a few days a week and generally being healthy is going to be 90% of the effort. The other 10% of being fanatical about gym, like I was for a while, and going 5, 6, 7 days a week to work out, that gains you nothing at all with women. So you don't need to become fanatic or lose your whole life to working out to gain the results that you want to have. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you disagree, if you agree, if you had the similar kind of experience where you've been not fit and then fit and the differences you've noticed, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. And as always, if you like my video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and please subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future ones. And as always, if you like this one, I reckon the next thing you should do right now is check out some others. If you like this one, you'll probably like those as well. As always, take care, stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you soon.